Let me take you back to 2023, where I was doing my last year of high school. And for those who don't know, the last year of high school, it's very physically and mentally demanding on any student that participates in it. And the exact same was with me. I felt stressed and so physically and mentally drained out of my mind for the whole year. And it did take a toll on me. There was this one night, it was halfway through the year, and I was eating dinner. My dad comes home from work that day, and him and my mum, they noticed that I wasn't right. They could see I was visibly agitated and frustrated about something. And so they decided to ask. As I'm shoving food down my throat, my dad, he approaches me and he goes, "Hey buddy, are you all right?" I just pause. I've got a mouthful of food. I swallow and I look at him. And I just burst out in anger and I go, "I've had enough. I don't want to do this anymore. I've had enough." And then there was a silence. They paused. They looked at each other. And then my dad looked at me and he said, "Hey mate, I can see how hard you are working. Me and your mother, we see how hard you are working. We can see how much effort you are putting in. I know the results haven't come yet, but you just have to believe. Just trust the process and the results will come. You don't know how much me and your mother are proud of you. We will support you through every step of the way, no matter what decision you make. And in saying that, if you've had enough, walk. We will not force you. We have seen you have tried your best, and we will support you through whatever decision you make." And funnily enough, I did the opposite of what he was suggesting. I stayed in school and I pushed through to the end of the year. Come time for December 2023, I find out that I not only got into the course that I wanted to, but also the course at the university that I wanted to. And I put it all down to that one night. That one night, something changed. And I started to realize that my parents believed in me more than I believed in myself. And from that point onwards, I started to believe in myself. So the reason I'm telling you this is because of the power of self-belief. From that point onwards, halfway through the year, I started believing that I was going to be able to achieve that uni and that course and get into it. And that's exactly what happened. Halfway through the year, it felt like no one believed in me. But from that night onwards, I realized that there were only 3 people that truly believed in my capability. They were my mum, my dad, and myself. So there were 3 things that really helped me get through the rest of the year. One of them was that self-belief. And there were 2 more that complemented this. So you had the self-belief, but these 2, they helped, they supported the self-belief, and they were resilience and sheer consistency. It was having that self-belief through the times, and especially in term 3, which is where you're trying to learn 2 units of content, which normally take 2 semesters worth of time, in about 9 weeks. That was the hardest semester that I had ever endured throughout my whole school life. And it was the resilience and the consistency in believing in myself that got me through. I had every night I would go to sleep and I would believe. I would believe that I would achieve, that I would get into the uni and the course that I wanted to. And it was through times where mentally I was spaced out. I was just focused and driven on the work. And I had one goal in mind. I had that self-belief that I was going to get there. And it was in times, these tough times like that, which would last for weeks on end, and consistently just believing in myself that I would achieve the goal that I set out to achieve, that got me there in the first place. I noticed that the more I started believing in myself, it's like I created momentum. I started feeling that momentum push me towards the finish line. And that momentum served as a great trainer and as something that I could latch myself onto and just run, just go with the wind. And that's what I did. So if there's one thing I want you to take from this, is that if I can achieve anything that I set my mind to, so can you. And you can do this through the power of self-belief, by believing in yourself and being consistent and constantly believing that you will achieve whatever you set out to achieve, regardless of whatever external pressures you feel are faced upon you in that moment in time. If you believe that you are going to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve, and you never give up on that belief, you will. And if I have helped you realize this, and you have gone on to achieve something that you really thought you could achieve, and no one else thought you could, well then, I've done my job. So in saying that, start believing in yourself, just like how I started believing in myself. Because that really proved that I am capable of anything in this life. And so are you.